6:30. Now, lockdown has reinforced the importance of talking to each other in person if you can, or on the phone or the internet. But here is another solution. There's been a surge of interest in amateur radio. Earlier, I spoke to Jim Lee from Nuneaton, who's an announcer on BBC Radio 4, but started his career with his own radio set. Jim's been telling me about the appeal of amateur radio.
It's magic, Mary. I was the original socially distant teenager back in the day, and I used to lock myself away in my bedroom quite happily, just listening to stations around the world. These stations would be falling out of the air, and it was just magical to me that a piece of wire that I'd found on a building site not too far away was acting as my aerial, and somehow these signals from all over the world were just dropping in there. And I just thought it was magic then. I still think it's magic now. And there's so much to learn. It takes in science, it takes in the weather, it takes in space weather. You need to know what's happening on the surface of the sun to know if you're going to get a signal to bounce around the world. People have their radio stations in their sheds, in their garages, in their attics, in spare rooms. This is an ideal hobby to do at times like this when you are stuck at home.
Now, how big is amateur radio?
There's been a surge of interest since the COVID lockdown, and as I mentioned earlier on, it's an ideal hobby for people who are stuck at home. The Radio Society of Great Britain has had unprecedented numbers of people applying to take the exam to get the foundation licence, and later this month, or is it next month? I can't remember. I think about 300 people will be taking the exam online in their homes, and the exam being invigilated online as well, which is a first. That's never happened before, but we should see a lot more people taking up the hobby in the near future.
Oh, Jim, your enthusiasm really comes through. Many thanks. That was Jim Lee speaking to me earlier.